If your common sense is telling you no, then it should be a no. And as I always say, if no changes who that person is to you, then you know that relationship, that friendship, whatever it is, wasn't real in the first place. And some of us were feeling so guilty, but yet we start a war within ourselves. Yet we complain, yet we're sick, yet we're tired. Yes, we have stress, which is a silent serial killer that will murder your peace in silence. And we're choosing these things. So when you don't choose you, what are you choosing? Are you choosing stress? Are you choosing negativity? Are you choosing all these things? And listen, I know we have to put things, don't take this message out of context. Like, I know we have to do things for other people. This is not the message saying don't do anything for anybody else. But some of us, we haven't even spent time with choosing ourselves, and all it has resulted in is us not loving our life. You know what I mean? And so you got to be unapologetic. And I know it's hard. I know you feel guilty. I know you tie your worth towards that. You have to disconnect your worth from how people see you, for what you do for people, because that is a very inconsistent thing that's going to control your emotional state. And so, as I always tell y'all, you got your worth at birth. You're worthy because of who you are, not because of what you do, not because of what you provide. And if people only love you based upon what you give them, then that love isn't real in the first place. That love is conditional. And we live in a very conditional world. I understand that. But when it's real love, when it's real support, it's unconditional. I told a friend the other day, and y'all see this video actually, I said, listen, if your best life doesn't involve me, go live your best life, because I want you to live your best life. If your best life doesn't involve me, then go live your best life. I'm okay with that. Does it hurt? Yes, but I'm okay with that. I don't want to be a hindrance. I don't want to be a roadblock, even though I'm not, right? This is just an example. I don't want to be these things to you. And so that's me as a person. If somebody's best life doesn't involve me, I'm going to champion that, because I love you so much that I want to see you go live your best life. If you have to leave me behind, I get it. If I can't go with you, I get it. And I respect it, because I want you to give your life what it needs, because I don't want you being a shell of yourself. I don't want you being sick and tired of being sick and tired, and all you do is please everybody, and literally you're not doing nothing for yourself. You're starting a war within yourself. And we got to change. I want to read this to you right quick. This is from Protect Your Peace, right? It comes out. So go get it right now on Amazon. Let's turn it up. We are very close to hitting the bestseller list. I need y'all support. All right, so you haven't gotten it yet, you can type peace. I'll send you a link, or just go to Amazon, right? Just go to Barnes and Nobles, wherever you buy books, type in Protect Your Peace, go on Google, and it looks just like this, all right? And so I want to read this to you. It says, choose yourself, okay? Saying it one more time for the people in the back. The first skill you need for energy protection is an ability to create and stand on your boundaries. Know what you truly need to be healthy and choose to protect yourself. Let me stop there. Do you know what you really need? I think that's a big part. A lot of us don't know what we need. When I ask people, what do you want to do with your life? What does your best life look like? What does the greatest you look like? What does the healed version of you look like? What does peace look like to you? And none of us know. A lot of people don't know. I don't know. So when you don't know, you're going to accept anything. You're going to accept a false version of it. You're going to accept a little, which is really worse than nothing, because when you accept a little, you're teaching yourself how to settle. And as we know, settling leads to what? Suffering. So the first step is you have to know what you want, right? That's the point of setting boundaries. You set a boundary not just to keep things out your life. That's the lowest form of setting boundaries. The highest purpose of setting a boundary is to see that boundary as a bridge to lead you to what you need. So if you know you want peace and what peace looks like to you, okay, what boundary do you need to set that's going to help you achieve that? And it's that simple. The hard part is sticking to your boundaries. The hard part is making people respect your boundaries, right? The hard part is making sure you don't disrespect your boundaries. But you got to know what you want. And so spend time today thinking about that. What does my best life look like? I'm in LA on this book tour doing TV, and people are like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky. It must be easy for you to say. And I tell people, you know what? I take that as a compliment, because I told myself when I was at my rock bottom, I told myself when I was at my darkest moments that I'm going to get to a point in my life where people are going to say, Trent, that's easy for you to say because I've done the work and I make it look easy. And it's far from it. I want people to say, man, you're so lucky. I told myself that 15 years ago. I said, I'm going to get to a point in my life where people look at me and they start to say, oh, well, it's easy for you to say, oh, you're so lucky, blah, blah, blah. Because I put in the work to heal. And so I know I might make it look like this. For one, nothing's easy in this life. But I set some boundaries. I set some principles that I live by that help me live my life more efficiently and more effectively. Okay? But you have to know what you want. Like, what do you want? Like, type in the comments. What do you want for your life? And don't think about it from a scarcity perspective. Don't think about it from a limited mindset. Well, I really want this, but I don't have it now, so I'm going to settle for this. No, what do you want in your life? Okay? Because life's going to give you what you need anyway. But you got to start thinking, what do you want? What does the best you look like? What does peace look like in your life? What does a better life look like? What does your breakthrough look like? Like, what are these things? Because it starts with you being able to envision it. You can't catch anything if you don't cast a vision. I can't catch a fish if I don't cast my line in the water. You know what I mean? So let's start there. Let me get back to reading this book. It comes out Tuesday. All right, go get it. Go get it. I'll be in New York City when it comes out. So I'll probably be doing a book signing out there or something random, or sign some books somewhere and leave them for y'all. But let me get back to this. Know what you truly need to be healthy and choose to protect yourself rather than enabling others. But remember that unless others force you to create walls, boundaries can and should be bridges, right? What does that mean? A boundary isn't a wall until somebody makes it a wall. How does somebody make it a wall? When they keep disrespecting you, right? When they keep causing stress in your life, right? That's when a boundary becomes a wall for me. That's when I set a boundary and say, hey, I don't want you in my life no more. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to smell you. I don't want anything. I don't want nothing to do with you. That's somebody who has continuously disrespected the boundary that I set. That's the only time it becomes a wall. Okay? Bridges of higher elevation for you and for them. Bridges of higher expectations for your life and for theirs. Not everyone will accept that invitation. Not everyone will cross those bridges. That's fine. One of my personal mantras is this. Everybody write this in the chat. I would rather be viewed as cold-hearted than live broken-hearted. Y'all know that. Y'all know that quote if you've been following me for a while. I would rather be viewed as cold-hearted than live broken-hearted. What does that mean? That means that when you choose yourself and you have a person that is a manipulator or just an environment that really wants to take advantage of your job and you finally choose you, they're going to try to make you feel bad. They're going to try to make you feel wrong. I said this in the video last night. They're going to try to make you feel wrong for no longer accepting wrong. They try to flip the script on you. Don't let people do that. That's called gaslighting 101. Don't let people do that. And if I'm viewed as cold-hearted for protecting my peace, if I'm viewed as cold-hearted for not accepting less, then let my heart be an icebox then. Because I refuse to live in a situation that's tearing my life apart. I refuse to stay in something that's breaking my heart, that's ruining my life. And some people, they might call you that because they can't take advantage of you no more. Some people might call you that because they can't use you no more. Some people might call you that because they don't have the same access to you no more. You know what I mean? Then they talk about you. They call you a bad person. You were a great person last month. But as soon as you stand up for yourself and you say no, right, it changes how they view you, it changes how they see you. And now they want to say to the world that you're this cold-hearted, evil person. You can't subscribe to that. You can't allow people to pull you back and distract you and take away your peace. That's what peace thieves do. Peace thieves cannot stand to see people at peace because they have no peace in their life. So when you're living your best life without them, without her, without him, without them, whoever it may be, without it, a lot of times they don't like that because they feel as if they have control over you. And as long as they can control you, control your energy, right? Control your mood, control your emotions, they'll use you. But as soon as they lose access to your emotions, as soon as they can no longer control you anymore, then that's when they start to spread lies about you. That's when they try to ruin your name. That's when they say all the crazy stuff. Oh, you can't live without me. You ain't this, you ain't that, blah, 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 blah. All the things. And while they saying that, you still living. While they saying that, you still living your best life. So don't allow people to trick you out of your position of healing. What does that mean? When you start healing, don't allow people that see you healing, that see you shining, that see you changing, because it's radiating, right? It's bothersome to some people, right? When you live in that peace, it's bothersome to people who have no peace in their life. They can't stand it. And what they want to do, misery loves company. They want to pull you down. They want to say things about you. You need to be so untouchable, your emotions, especially the things that shouldn't even be able to touch you in your life. You should be so untouchable that you don't even hear what they're saying. You should feel so sorry for them because you live in your best life and you realize that your life is better without that situation. It shouldn't even bother you one bit what they say, because that's what people try to do. Once they can no longer control you, they try to ruin your name. They try to ruin who you are, right? They try to assassinate your character. But one thing about character is that good character will always prevail. Consistent character will always show. Let me get back to this book. I'm sorry. And I wanted to say this about the bridges, right? When you give out an expectation, you read this in a book, it's kind of like a drawbridge. Like, I believe boundaries are like a drawbridge. And when I'm in control of who I let in my life and what I let in my life, just like we all are. I don't have to be around people. I don't have to do anything. So at the right time, when I feel like I'm at peace and I allow the outside world in, it's like a drawbridge, right? I can choose to keep that drawbridge up and spend quality time with myself and be in my own little world, or I can put that drawbridge down under the right circumstances. But I send out the invitation. And if you don't want to walk across the bridge, then that's on you. And so some of us, we butthurt and we feeling guilty because some people ain't accepting our invitation, ain't coming into our life, ain't really celebrating our peace and our wins. And so we start to feel guilty. And we're like, oh man, like this person don't care about me. And we start to lose ourselves. We start to feel guilty. Man, am I leaving this person behind? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I shouldn't be taking care of myself. Maybe I shouldn't take a day off. Maybe I shouldn't do this or do that. And all the while, you know that you should. Don't let people make you feel guilty for doing what's best for you. I'll say that till I die. If the world you were brought up in made you into something as a people pleaser, setting boundaries won't be easy at first. That's okay too. If you're reading this though, it means you've had enough and you're willing to make changes. At the start of each day, we all have something in common. Saying yes is a choice. Saying no is a choice. Setting boundaries is a choice. Me choosing me is a choice. You choosing you is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Peace, my friend, is also a choice. Choose wisely. Every day you got a choice, man. And I know you know this, but every day you have a choice to protect your peace. Every day you have a choice to not engage in negativity. Every day you have a choice to not allow the outside world of chaos to kill the calm inside you. And it won't be easy, especially when you're a people pleaser, especially when your emotions are tied to so many things outside of you. It won't be easy. There's times in my life where it's not easy to set boundaries. It's not easy to choose my peace and choose me. But there's times where you got to, y'all. And I'm not telling you to be selfish. I'm not saying it's all about you. But you got to give your life what it needs if you want to be the best you for those that need you to be. Because a stressed you, a short-tempered you, short fuse, yelling at your kids, snapping on everybody, attitude is poor, who is that helping? And it's because you don't have peace in your life. So what I want you to do this weekend is I want you to say yes to yourself. Okay? Say yes to yourself this weekend. And some people might not get it. Your kids might not get it. Your friends might not get it. But I want you to say yes to yourself. I want you to find confidence in saying yes to yourself. I want you to find confidence in setting boundaries, internally and externally. I want you to find confidence in realizing every single day you're faced with a choice. You're faced with a choice to continue to allow the war to strengthen within, or you can end that war by giving your life the peace that it needs. Some of us, we are choosing peace outside of us while we're starting a war. Oh my gosh, it's about to hit my car. Inside of us, bro, which I'm like, about to honk at the dude. We're choosing a war inside of us while keeping peace outside of us. That has to end. That has to end right now. Okay? No more keeping the peace. No more keeping the peace outside of you, right? Unnecessarily. Let me be clear. I'm not telling you to bring chaos to people around you. But some of us, we've stayed silent. We haven't said a word. Some of us haven't said our piece. Some of us haven't said what we need to say. Some of us haven't had the conversation. Some of us haven't we haven't done any of that because we're so afraid to start conflict outside of us. But I want to tell you, there's a thing called healthy conflict, because I would rather have an external conflict that I can come to a solution than keep a silent internal conflict that I deal with every single day. Because that silent internal conflict leads to stress. It leads to no sleep. It leads to depression. It leads to poor mental health. And we cannot do that no more. Like, this is the year where you say no more. This is the year where you say, I'm choosing peace. That's it. And that looks different for everybody, by the way. It looks different. When you read this book, it looks different. You're going to develop your own prescription for your peace. But I promise you, like, everybody who's read this book already, like all the news stations and I had a call with the Today Show, like they had to read it and they're like, Trent, this book is incredible. It's like, it's so needed. Like, it made me like, they were telling me like all the principles they were already applying. It was amazing. And everybody who's read it so far, it's the same reaction. Like, man, I didn't realize how much I needed this book. And it's a simple read, y'all. It's nothing crazy. I don't have no big onomatopoeia words in there. You don't have to keep reading. It's a simple read. It's a simple read. And a lot of this stuff is common sense. But hopefully after you read this book, that you're going to start trusting your common sense more, right? You're going to believe your common sense. Your common sense speaks to you all the time. Your common sense says, you know what? That ain't right. Your common sense is saying, you know what? Yeah, I think we need to set some boundaries here. Your common sense saying, they really don't rock with me like that. But then your loyalty, because you're such a loyal person, you're such a loyal person. I have this problem too. You're so loyal. Your loyalty is saying, but you got to stay. There's so much history. Your loyalty is saying, it's my responsibility to change this person. It's my fault. Your loyalty is keeping you in situations that your common sense has been trying to take you out of. I love that quote because it's so true. Your loyalty has kept you in situations. And I love your loyalty. But sometimes being a loyal person is not good for you. Don't take that out of context. I do believe in the right loyalty. But sometimes we have the wrong loyalty. We're loyal to the wrong things. We're loyal to the wrong environment. We're loyal to the wrong people. We're loyal to the wrong situations. We're loyal to our past that is no longer serving our life. But we're staying there. And I know, like, you think about, like, man, I don't know. Even though I know what I'm getting and it sucks, but I would rather accept this than, like, go on a journey of the unknown because I'm so afraid of the unknown. Your brain is working against you. Your brain is like, fear, fear, fear. No, do not go unknown. Do not go do something you've never done before. Like, let's stay here. I know it sucks, but let's stay here because I'm comfortable here. I know it's painful, but I'm comfortable here. You got to tell your brain to shut up. And you got to say, nah, my common sense is telling me there's more. There's better. This ain't right. This ain't it. You got to trust. You know, how I got to this place in my life. Now, every time I go to a city, I'm in LA right now, Melrose, actually, I can't even say it. And I always walk and I come to LA and I think about, it's raining in LA. That's crazy. It's been raining lately here. And I think about, like, man, like, I always think about how far I've come. And this time is just special because this book, man, it's just, this book is special. You know, my mother's heaven birthday, I don't say death anniversary. Heaven birthday is this coming up week. This book is coming out this coming up week. And I just feel grateful that so many people, you know, I had an airline flight attendant today walk up and hug me, you know, and she was excited to see me because she said I helped her so much. And I think about that. And I say all that not to, like, toot my own horn or make me feel better about myself, but I say that because where I'm at today, I can truthfully, undeniably say it came down to me setting boundaries. boundaries with myself, boundaries with other people. It came down to me saying yes to the right things. It came down to me trusting my common sense. Those are the things, y'all. And you guys been hearing me for years say the same things, because those are the things I believe that work. I could give y'all some cute scientific proven fact and cute formula, but the truth is, you know what's right, you know what's wrong. You know what you deserve. You know what you don't deserve. And if it's not congruent with the life that you want to live, you know that's not how you should be living. And so it comes down to that. So this book is the foundation for your life. If peace is the foundation for your life, it's such a great anchor. Peace is such a great indicator, because sometimes my human self, the flesh of me, wants to determine what's right by how I feel. But peace is my fact. And I know if it's disturbing my peace, disrupting my peace, and this is not about just kicking people out your life, y'all. This book ain't about that. This book is understanding foundationally, holistically, what does this look like in your life if peace was guiding your life? So when I have peace in a decision, even though it's scary, even though it makes no sense, the reason I'm here, oh man, I gotta do this podcast, this interview. But the reason I'm here today, and I hope everybody gets this, the reason I'm here today is because I had peace in something that I could not verify, validate, or see. I had no idea I would be the person I am today. Let me tell you this, there was no external evidence of that, right? There was nothing that said, Trent, you're going to be this guy that helps people with their self-worth, with their purpose, you're going to be that guy. There was nothing that said that, no indicator. But there was a peace inside of me, despite, and you can fill in the blank, despite opinions, despite people's belief in me, despite support, despite me believing in myself, there was a peace inside of me that said, this is right. This is a yes. Even when everything else said, no. What? No. There was a peace inside of me. A peace inside of me. And you'll read about that in the book. It's internal alignment. You'll read about it. Principle 8, I believe. But there was a peace inside of me. And I got here because of peace. And so I listened to my peace. I operate my life from that place. Of course, I'm not perfect with it. You'll probably see me in some moments. Sometimes we're like, dang, Trent need to protect his peace. Of course, I'm not perfect with it. I'm a human. But I try my best to allow peace to be my guide. So yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm just out here doing work, man, and trying to make this book the biggest book ever, man, because, even from the feedback I've gotten already, it lets me know I was right. This book is going to shift some lives and change some lives, even the people that don't read books. If you like me 15 years ago, I ain't reading no book. I made this one for you too, because it's such an easy read. You can turn to any page in this book. You can turn right here, right? I can just read right here. I'll just read whatever's on here. Those are some of mine. What are yours? And I'm talking about disruptors in my life, right? There you have to be certain places, right? Oh, there have to be certain places you can take a stand where you're not negotiating, period. How many times do we lessen ourselves to make other people feel comfortable? Settling because we negotiated. Not living a life intended for us because we negotiated. This is where worry comes in. You start to think about all those non-negotiables coming under fire, and that's when you get that sick, anxious feeling. Protect the non-negotiables and protect your peace. Protect them, and you transcend the pattern of staying mediocre. I want you to forget mediocre and be as great as you were created to be. Yeah. Man. I am someone who is simply human, just like you. It may seem like I'm doing great, but I have my struggles. I try to wear them on my sleeve, which y'all know, in hopes that my message may touch someone like you. Has my message touched you? Let me know. Drop a fire emoji. Peeling back the curtain. My prayer the past couple of weeks as I've been writing this chapter has been, God, renew my mind, replenish my spirit. How many of us are programmed to operate under the same patterns? More often when they are unhealthy. Renew my mind, replenish my spirit. Give me a disruptor. I had a moment last night saying those prayers, and after that, I felt God speak to my heart and say, you be the disruptor. So I was writing this book. You got to realize, like, during a hard time of my life. Y'all know what happened in 2021, 2022. So it's funny that I had to write this book, like, literally. I had an interview yesterday, and I got to go. But the interview was like, they asked me about this book, and I said, this book is wild because this book was written from two places. Wisdom of, like, years, like, in the making of knowing what peace is to me, and then the experience of, like, me actually going through it as I'm writing the book. But that disruptor part is like, I was searching for something to disrupt my life. I was waiting on somebody to do something for me. I was waiting on the opportunity. And I felt God speak to my spirit and say, you be the disruptor. Like, you make the choice. You start the change. It all starts with you. And I made a decision at that time to be the disruptor in my health, in my journey, etc. Y'all, I got to go. I appreciate y'all. Share this if you feel this.